What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is John. I got options, and today we are talking about SpaceX yet again. They have inked a $30 billion computing deal with no other than Google. This is absolutely amazing. I mean, Elon Musk, man, maybe he treats Tesla like his ugly stepchild, and SpaceX must be his golden child. Because SpaceX, they can't miss. 30 billion with Google. 30 billion. So in this deal, Google has agreed to pay Elon Musk $920 million a month for computing through mid-2020. And this is supposed to start as early as October of this year. And both parties are allowed to terminate the contract if SpaceX fails to deliver access to NVIDIA chips by September 30th. And the deal gives Google access to NVIDIA's graphics processing unit chips, blah, 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 blah. Why is this so amazing? Because right now, the one bear case against SpaceX and this crazy valuation of 1.75 trillion is, oh, they're trading at 100 times revenue. That's last year's revenue, guys. You don't buy a business for what it did last year. You buy a business for what you think it's going to do in the future. That's why you're buying the business. So when you break down these numbers, you $1 billion they're going to collect in just a couple years. But let's annualize this. Let's think about this properly. So I wrote up a nice little tweet here. We have $11 billion that's going to come from Google annualized. We already have $15 billion that's going to be coming from Anthropic. Overnight, SpaceX has become the largest neocloud compute provider. Remember Nebius? They're only doing $3.4 billion this year. Remember CoreWeave? They're only supposed to do $12.67 billion this year. Now, CoreWeave and Nebius, great businesses. They're growing. Beautiful. But for SpaceX to come completely out of left field, and they're clearing $26 billion in compute just out of nowhere. They have literally doubled their revenue. Think about this. SpaceX has doubled their revenue from the time they announced that they were going to IPO and before they even IPO'd. In literally a matter of weeks, they have doubled their projected annual revenue out of nowhere. It's not like this was Starlink and we're, the Starlink business is going to double, da-da-da-da. It's not like, we already knew these business lines and what was going to happen. No. He put up the compute, he bought the chips from NVIDIA, and here we are. He's signing the craziest deals. Guess what? This is just the beginning, okay? Because what's going to happen is orbital data centers. That's going to happen. But let's come back to Earth for a second, just for a second. So Anthropic, Google, Starlink, you're looking at ending the year at over 50 billion in revenue annualized. That's going to be your revenue run rate by the end of 2026. $50+ billion. Now let's go back and look at this IPO price of 1.75 trillion. That's not 100 times sales, guys. That's 34 times the end of this year's sales. We're already halfway through 2026. I mean, we could have 10 more billion come from Amazon. We could have 10 billion come from Microsoft. The thing is, what people are not understanding about Elon Musk, he is good at one thing, and that is getting people to do things that no other business can do in the time and the efficiency that he can do it. When he's doing something that other people are already doing and they take about this much time and this much money, if it's already being done in the world, Elon somehow can come in and just say, wait a minute, we can switch this, and we can do it in this much time and this much money. So he's standing up these data centers in like 7 months. 7 months, he stood up all these data centers that are now going to spit out $26 billion a year in revenue. It's just insane. Let's break down some more of these numbers in this little news piece that came out with Google. So this deal with Google is for 110,000 GPUs, the H200s. All right, and these H200s go for $50,000. So let's do some math. So these H200s that he's giving to Google for $11 billion a year is costing $5.5 billion for the GPUs. So he's literally getting the money from Google that he used to pay for the GPUs. He's getting the entire nut back in like 6 months. Now, of course, there's ongoing costs with energy and all that, but you're still looking at like a 60+% operating margin business. Imagine buying a product and then renting it out to somebody, and literally you get the entire cost of your product back in 6 months. That's how hard it is, and that's how intensive the work is to actually take these NVIDIA GPUs, put them together, and get them power, that people are willing to pay you literally twice the entire cost of the GPUs in 1 year. And the reason Google's doing this is because they have an insane backlog of over $400 billion, $460 billion. They doubled their backlog for their Google Cloud in 1 quarter. So in summation, 1.75 trillion for SpaceX, when there's a very, very, very high chance that they end the year over $51 billion reoccurring revenue. We're trading at 34 times sales. Are we that insane? We're talking about arguably the most important business ever created, literally ever, like 34 times sales. If I get shares at IPO, that's gonna be amazing. Anyways, I just thought this was interesting and I had to share my perspective. I really don't think that SpaceX is expensive. Make sure to check out my X profile. Check out feedmetrades.com as well, where you can track your option trades, track your covered calls, track your cash secured puts, anything options related, track it on feedmetrades.com. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, and stay tuned for the next one. Peace.